Hi, this is Tim Yoder. I'm evaluating our the Sunrise accounting software for the basic information in the rubric. Today is July 30th, 2021. Okay, so we're working on basic information today, so we have to sign up for an account. I've gone to the sunriseapp.com, entered my name and email and password. I'm going to try to sign up. Oh, looks like I've already signed up for it. So let's go back to the let's go to the login page instead. Okay, there we go. So I'm logged in, but this is an old company I've already been playing with. I don't want that. I want to have a new company. So how do I get a new company? So let's go. Um, I want to create an organization. Business name is Fit HVAC and Plumbing, I think. I'm going to say we are in the construction industry. Well, this is a little annoying, isn't it? There we go. Okay. So business address. Oops, putting in too much. Okay, well that's kind of nice. We could do a logo right here if we want. We'll work on that when we do invoices later. How many employees do you have? We have not actually addressed that yet, but I think we'll probably have 2 to 4. When did you start your business? We'll say it was a while ago. I've already told it we're construction. And we're an S corporation. Okay, so that was kind of nice. That walked us through it. Now they're setting up the account. Okay, so going over to our rubric here for Sunrise. So we were able to input the name and the address very quickly. Our email address. It didn't ask for a telephone number yet. We'll see. Input email address and recorded the entity type. Okay, so we have not yet put in the fiscal year or the telephone number. So let's go ahead and get into the company, Fit HVAC. Okay, so where can we enter some more information? Okay, so HVAC and plumbing, address. Okay, we can put the detail in. Looks like it automatically transferred a telephone number in here. Okay. Oh, the counting method, cash or accrual. Let's make sure that that's on accrual. Oh, look at that. Edit account balances. That's going to be nice when we go to enter our new account balances. Okay, but let's not do that just yet. Okay, so for some reason the state here is not transferring to up here. Well, and we need to, hmm. Okay. Yeah, that address is very weird. And it didn't seem to carry the state up there, but I think it's okay. And the accrual method. Now, that accrual method is important. I need to add that to the case study that we need to use the accrual method. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Excellent. So let's save that information. Okay. And it looks like here we can go back and change the employee count when we need to. So we have not found anywhere to record the fiscal year end. So just looking through. Interesting. Okay. Well, users, we know we need to invite an additional user, so let's go ahead and invite Jane Doe. So her email is jdoe at whatever.com. This person is an accountant. Okay. Now we weren't able to restrict her user permissions at all. So we're going to have to make sure we record that. So in the restricted rights for an additional user, they're going to earn a 0 there, but we were able to add the additional user, so let's give them a 1 there. Okay. So things we still need to figure out how to do. We need to figure out how to record that fiscal year end and then multiple classes. Okay, so they call them app settings, but it really seems to be invoice settings and expense settings. Okay. Looks like we can do templates, methods. Nice, okay. Okay, that was the settings tab. Yeah, I don't see a way to set that fiscal year end. Let's go one more time here. Settings, organization. This right here is usually where you would put the fiscal year. So they have a date for the business start date, but that's totally separate. So there is nowhere for the fiscal year end. So that's not, well, it's not good. So we can't record a fiscal year end. When we go to reports, I'm guessing, so we got to go to the reports are very limited, but we go to more, and we go to the balance sheet. Oh, here we go. Enter your fiscal year. When did your fiscal year start? Here's where we're going to put 12/31/2000. Okay, good. So we were able to get to a fiscal year, but that was not at all where it normally is. That was confusing, so I'm going to give it a half a point for recording the fiscal year. Okay, good. So classes and locations. I have not seen anything that's going to give us classes and locations, and I'm quite positive this program does not have that. So we can't create our 2 classes, can't create our 2 locations. I'm giving it 0 on that. Okay, so let's get to modifying our chart of accounts. And so here we can see the default chart of accounts, but we need to modify that. It does give us a way to edit our opening balances here. That's very cool. Okay, so let's go into editing our chart of accounts. Okay, a little bit unusual. Shows revenues, then cost of goods sold, other revenue, expenses. This is okay. So let's start down here. I guess they have assets. Okay, so bank and liquid assets. So let's modify this account. So let's edit. Let's call it checking account. And we're going to change it to 110. Okay. Then we have another one called cash on hand. So we need to create an account. Oh, okay, so here it's actually allowing us to enter our opening balance. So that's nice. So we're going to $1,000. Now, when did you start using Sunrise? So we want to make sure we say we started using Sunrise 12/31/2020. Okay, this is not a bank account. However, we do want to enable this. I'm just familiar with this program, so we need to enable this. If we want to be able to pay expenses out of our cash on hand, we need to enable that. Okay. And let's go back to our checking account here and let's edit it. But it does not give us the ability to put in a beginning balance. That's interesting. Okay. Savings account. Good. It saved our conversion date. We need to enable in case we want to make a payment directly out of there. Okay, accounts receivable. Okay, that is a system account. Let's see if they let us change the account number. It looks like they will. Enable payments to this account. No. Okay. Inventory. So they do not have an inventory account. So it's not going to do inventory like costing and stuff, but let's still at least set up an account to track the inventory. So we can say inventory account type. Since they don't have inventories, we're just going to call it current asset. Account number 140, balance beginning is 0. Well, now this is weird. So it keeps backing up the conversion date by 1, right? Okay, equipment. So they have this fixed asset account. We're going to change it. Instead of fixed asset, let's call it equipment. And we're going to change it to 150. Okay, vehicles is another fixed asset account, so we need to create a new one. Fixed asset account, account number 160, opening balance 60,000. It's a little weird little error that's popping up when we create the counts, but then it seems to create them anyway. Accumulated depreciation. Just need to change the account number to 190. For some reason, it's not letting us enter a beginning balance. Oh, it doesn't let us enter a beginning balance when we just edit the accounts. Okay. Accounts payable. Need to be 200. Credit card payable. needs to be 210. Loan payable, $220. Common stock. So let's get through the rest of our liabilities here. Does not have a common stock account, so let's create a new one. That is an equity account. Account number 300. Actually, I think, don't we already have one of these? Let's see. Common stock. Capital contributed is the same thing, so let's edit. And I'm going to call it additional paid in capital. This was 310. And then retained earnings should be a system account. Retained earnings, prior years. Yep. Retained earnings, we'll just leave that off. And that is 320. Save. Okay. So now I'm very curious as to what's going to happen because they've let us enter some beginning balances and not others. So what happens? Our balance sheet should be way out of balance. Okay, and the way it's handling it is it's putting the out of balance amount to the opening balance adjustment, which is actually pretty much what QuickBooks does. Okay, so that's not uncommon. But let's go ahead. We need to enter some more beginning balances here. So before it was giving us an option to enter beginning balances here, but now it's not. What if I click on this checking account? Edit account. Not giving me the beginning balances option. So I think we saw some beginning balance options here. There we go. Very nice. Okay, good. So it's carrying over the beginning balances. I like this. This is nice. So checking account is 10,000. Equipment 75,000. Vehicle 60 accumulated. Depreciation. It's showing it as a debit amount, so I'm going to assume it wants me to put it in here as a negative since it's a credit amount. Credit card payable. Okay, it's listing equities before liabilities. That's weird. It's just those kind of things that just make it seem like it's not set up by accountants. You know, it's not that hard to just scroll down a little bit to get to liabilities, but that's weird. Why would you ever list liabilities after equity? Okay, and then back up to equity for common stock. Additional paid in capital. And then retained earnings, 154,000. And then we shouldn't need this opening adjustment anymore. So our equity, does anything here tell us yet? Right here it tells us that we're in balance. 181,000 to 181,000. Nice. Save. Okay. And let's just check out our report, our balance sheet. Good. 181,000. Excellent. So for modifying the chart of accounts, that was pretty reasonable. I'm going to go ahead and give them the full score of 1. Inputting the balances, that was really nice once we found that screen. Very good, nice way to input beginning balances. We're not able to lock the books prior to 2021, so that's not good. Give them a 0 there. Importing the chart of accounts and importing the beginning balances, I've seen nothing about importing anything. Let's go to our chart of accounts here. Make sure there's not a... Oh, here we go. Import chart of accounts. Okay, well there we go. So I'm not gonna go through the advanced feature, but it is there, so I'm going to give them credit for having the importing the chart of accounts. I wonder if you can also import the beginning balance. Okay. I tell you what, this isn't very handy. It doesn't tell you exactly how the CSV is supposed to be set up. Okay, but they do have the option, so we'll give them credit for that option. It doesn't say anything about beginning balances, so I don't think you're bringing in your beginning balances with your chart of accounts. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Export our chart of accounts. It says this will give you a template essentially on how to import your chart of accounts. Okay, so let me drag it over here. So this is the way you'd want to set up your chart of accounts in order to import them. So we've got an account number, account name, type, account type, sum, class. Okay. But no amount. Okay. So no amount. So we can import our chart of accounts. Does not look like it would be the easiest thing in the world to do, but we cannot import our beginning balances. Okay, great. So that concludes the basic information part of the rubric for the Sunrise accounting app.